Come on now, we're at practice. Give me some chords. What are we playing tonight? Hey guys, it's Eric Roberts at Worship the King, and I'm talking about setting realistic expectations and then continually raising the bar of those expectations over time to create a really strong, growing, thriving worship team. Now, some of you may be thinking like, I don't even have a worship team. I can't get more than a couple people just to commit. I'll take whoever. Just somebody come to worship team practice. Somebody do something. But I want to challenge you to think about it in a different way. To raise the excellence is going to start right here with you. Setting expectations and communicating those clearly to the people around you, and then growing a community of excellence on the stage. So I really do believe the stage is a place that we better be if we've been practicing. If we, are first of all spiritually solid in our hearts, we should be right in our hearts with God. But we also have to be practicing and be performing. The Bible tells us that we should be practice and to study to show ourselves approved. It's even more important when you walk up on the stage with your instrument. It's not a place to practice. The leading worship is not a place to be practicing. And the expectations that you set as a leader, I think, is the biggest number one thing of creating a really thriving team over time. So in my piano tuning company, I always tell people it's consistency over time that makes this piano stable, that makes this piano stay in tune. Consistency over time, consistency of practice, consistency of tuning that piano, putting it back into the place where it should be every time, every 6 months, every month. It goes a little bit out of tune, you put it in tune. It goes a little bit out of tune, you put it in tune. It goes a little bit out of tune, you put it in tune. The people that wait 10 years, when I go to work on their piano, it's way out of tune. It's so far out of tune, could take a whole year to get that piano to solidify back to a stability. It's like that in your team too. You're setting expectations up front that require practice, that require dedication, that require them to show up on time, require them to be a Christian, require them to seek God, to pray, to do those things. All those things matter in your worship team. So as a leader, as a team, as a church, you have to be setting that expectation. So here are some expectations that I'm just going to pull these out right out of the back of my head that I'm thinking about for things that would be important for my worship team and are important for the teams that I'm leading. Is number one, be at practice. Number one, first, be at practice. Show up to practice. Practice for Sunday, whenever it is. This is the point of contention in a lot of teams because some people work or some people travel and they can't practice. So I would say then they're not probably going to play. This is if it was my team. If they're not going to come to practice, they're not going to play. They're not going to just waltz in on Sunday and just sit down and dink-a-dink-a-ding. I'm awesome. I don't need to practice. That is not going to happen. Okay? Set an expectation to be at practice. And in all of these, please remember as leaders, there's always going to be something like, okay, well, he was really sick and he is our only drummer and he had to miss practice because he had mono. But we really need him to play Sunday. So he's going to practice. So there are always going to be things that happen. So these are expectations, though. These are team building, strong expectations. So come to practice, number one. Be a part of the team, number one. Come to practice. Now, number two would be come to practice and already have practiced. So I don't just show up to practice like, what are we playing tonight? Give me some chords. Come on now. This is my least favorite worship team member impression. Come on now, we're at practice. Give me some chords. What are we playing tonight? That's not how it's going to fly. You want to give songs early. So that's on you. That's on you, worship leader. Give them the songs early. Give them the songs way early, a week early, 2 weeks early, heck, a month early. What's wrong with planning ahead? That's on you. And that's a whole nother video. Practice. Be at practice before practice, but worship leader, you got to give them the stuff. Give them the stuff ahead of time. So you give them the stuff ahead of time. They come to practice. They've already practiced at home, and they're ready to play. And then they're rehearsing with the band. They're getting better. Okay, that's key. What are some other things that I would expect Be on time Sunday morning. Get up early and be there as early as possible. I don't care if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever the expectation is going to be for your team to succeed. So when you're making these expectations as a worship leader, pastor, as the board, don't think of it like, well, what time do we think everybody wants to get up and get here? What time would they want to get here and make sure they have donuts first? That's not the point. The point in the expectation is we have to be here at 6 o'clock because we have to practice for an hour. And then we have to have a meeting, and then we have to do what? Back it up so that you're there in time. Because if you're not there on time, then you get there right away, you're getting ready to play, and all of a sudden some cable's broken. Or you're getting ready to go, and we only got 30 minutes, we got to hurry up. And then somebody's guitar just, falls over, or the sound system won't come on, and then, all of these things are going to happen to you no matter how high your expectations are. So you want to set that back early, get there early, already have practiced before, already know what you're doing. And a lot of this comes down on you. So if your worship team, I want to throw this in here. If your worship team is stinking it up right now, if your worship team is stressed out, if you're a worship leader and you're watching this video and you're like, I just want to kill stuff and I just want to quit. If that's what you're feeling like, it's mostly your fault. So let's just get that out of the way right now. Your expectations are too low. You're letting people do things that you shouldn't. You're not having enough time. You're not planning ahead. You're not practicing. You got too many kids. Whatever it is, it's your fault. It's not your worship team's fault or your church's fault. So I want you to just erase that out of your head. It is not anybody else's fault. If you're stressed out to the max as a worship leader, it is not their fault. It's your fault. So what we do is we set expectations. We set the rules. We practice early. We plan so far in advance that no matter what happens, we're planned. We're practiced, man. It's like you're not going to be like a boxer and be like, I'm going to go fight the heavyweight champion of the world. And I'm going to just going to sit on the couch here and eat potato chips for about 6 months. And then the last 3 weeks, I'm going to do some cardio. And then I'm going to go win. Nobody does that. Nobody wins like that. So you got to win ahead of time, months and months ahead of time. You got to win over time, chipping away at people's expectation of mediocrity. They just think, oh yeah, I'll just show up and play. It'll be fun. They might not be as invested as you. Their heads might not be on the chopping block. Like they might not be being paid. This might be your full-time job, and you think it's everything. And you're thinking they're not like that. Your team might be volunteers. They might have 6 kids and they might have 3 jobs, and this is one thing they're trying to do. So you got to set expectations. This is how we're going to do it here, and then they will go, one thing I've learned about that, when you are really excellent in setting high expectations, the people around you, we'll do 2 things. They'll shut off. They'll quit. I'm like, I can't do that. I ain't showing up at 6. No, I'm not doing 6 in the morning. That's too early. Okay, well, you're not playing in the worship team then. Sorry. That's just, it isn't like a mean thing. It's just, this is how we're doing it. And they're going to be people. 2 things. They're going to shut off. No way, man. I'm not practicing before I get here. I come to practice. Well, they might think that because you let them think that. But as we change expectations towards excellence, these people will shed off, or they're going to go like this. Man, Billy, he's getting serious. I got to get serious. I'm not showing up tonight. I'll be embarrassed if I don't know my chords tonight. If I don't get there and when I go to worship practice, when I'm playing on some of the teams that I do, they're so high level. I am scared to death to show up at that practice. I am nervous as heck to show up and not know my part. I do not want to be super. So there are levels of excellence that are set at the top from the teams you play with. And one of them is just come and do what you want to. I'm going to play whatever I want to. I can do that if I want to. I can make up accents for people if I want to. I'll just come on in and play. Let's just do whatever you want to do. Just come on. Oh, you don't even have a guitar. Just come up here and we'll get something going. That is one way, and that is not going to give you excellence. It might be fun. Might feel good, but if you're trying to build an excellent worship team, if you're watching me this long, then I know that's not you. It's come, practice, strung up, tuned. Practice starts at 7. Don't walk in here at 7:15 like, oh man, sorry man, I gotta, Set expectations, because that ruins everything. So those two things are going to happen. Shed off is going to happen. People are going to quit. Second, people are also going to be like, man, that guy's a jerk. They're going to be thinking, he's a jerk. It used to be fun. This used to be fun, man. Now that guy's a jerk. He makes us practice, and I just want to worship. That's the other thing that can possibly, I want to worship, and that's not worshiping. That guy is not worshiping. Trust me, I know I've had it happen. I've had it happen to me. You're on a path towards excellence. You're on a path towards giving God your best. You're on a path towards producing a great musical experience on Sunday morning. That's your job. That's your job as a worship leader. So people are going to say, oh man, he's more interested in performing, and he's just no fun. He doesn't let the Spirit move anymore, just wants us to practice. Just let it roll off. Let that roll off, man. Because what's going to happen is, the second thing that's going to happen is people that are good are going to start coming. Those guitar players in your church that have been kind of like, I don't want to join the band. They seem kind of hinky-dinky. They're going to show up like, hey, man, I hear you guys are, you're looking for, I have to audition. Okay, yeah, I want to audition. I want to get on a team that's good. I want to be good. That's what you want the people around you to be the people that want to be good. So that's definitely what's going to happen. Let the people around you be the people that be good. So that is how it's going to happen. These are some of the things we're talking about, and I'm doing as I'm consulting, as I'm driving into worship teams and helping worship leaders prepare. So prepare ahead, set expectations high, shed off the people who don't want to come up to excellence, and the people that do want to come in, I want to be a part of the worship team, but I'm not ready. Create training programs for them, training things for them, things that push them forward. And Worship the King comes alongside you and helps you do that. So, but it all begins with you. It begins with the leadership and the expectations. It begins there with you. If you're having those stresses, start looking inside. Give me a call. I invite you to call me. I invite you to book a call with me anytime, worshiptheking.com. Leave some comments and let me help you overcome those stresses. I've been stressed out. I've been feeling that. I've been feeling those emotions. I've been called the guy that just wants to be good and doesn't want to worship. All those things. But always on the other side of that is always a strong, vibrant, long-term. It's just like consistency over time. Over time, being consistent with excellence. It doesn't happen overnight with your team, and it could be painful. But as you shed and as you grow and as you raise the bar, you get a little better. And then more people go, that's getting good. I want to be a part of it. And then you raise the bar a little more. And then you train and train and train. And then you raise it a little more. And then you keep raising that bar and you keep getting better talent and training more talent and developing teams. And over the long haul, you're going to have a strong, vibrant, growing worship ministry, worship band, worship team. And your stress gets way less. Your stress gets way less. You're prepared. You're planned out several months. You got more than enough musicians to fill every spot every week. Those are things that take time, consistency, and they take expectations. Set the right expectations. I can help you do that. Give me a call, give me an email, book a call with me, and I will help you do that more. Check out the resources, like, share, subscribe to the video. I'm glad you stuck. If you stuck around to this long, congratulations. I know what you want. I know you want to go there, and I'll help you get there.